The content, views, and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the producer and do not necessarily reflect the view and opinions of the City of Bremerton, BCAT, their officials, or their employees.
Hello and welcome to Leadership Kitsap Alumni Spotlight, where both the host and guest are alumni of our local 10-month leadership development course. This program shines a spotlight on just one of the several hundred graduates who have given countless hours of their time and effort to make things happen through leadership. I'm your host, Jenny Higgs, class of 2020, and joining me today is Erinn Hale, class of 2024. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. Well, I want to get started and just hear a little bit about you and your time here in Kitsap County.
Well, let's see, we moved from Seattle to Bremerton in 2017. We wanted a slower pace. I'd spent a lot of time in smaller towns. So had my husband. My husband grew up in Chipmunkam, and we wanted to be closer to his family. So we moved and got to experience home ownership, which was impossible in Seattle. And I quickly got involved with my neighborhood. I got involved with city council and got to know all the players there. Got involved with the district, and I have a really strong allergy to injustice, and just found myself kind of getting involved in various things, and was really delighted by how approachable local government was. So it just allowed for me to learn even more in that space. And I found myself being encouraged to run for city council, and so I did. And quickly realized, what am I doing? I just got a full-time job. We started a construction business, and it just seemed like impossible given the time. So I tried to withdraw. It said by end of day, and I got a phone call saying, well, end of day is 4:30, so I had to commit to the direction and use it as an opportunity actually to get through my fear of speaking in public. So I participated in debates and really got to know the community. Unfortunately, I didn't go door to door because I just knew that it wasn't the right path for me at the moment. But I then got to support Anna Mockler on her run, and then became her photographer and friend and everything else. So it's been really wonderful getting to know the community and participating wherever possible. So
wonderful. Well, Erinn, you're the current program manager at Bremerton Food Line.
Yes.
Can you share with us a little bit about what's happening with the food line and what you're working on these days?
Oh my gosh, sometimes it feels so overwhelming because my office is right next to the lobby. So I tend to be very empathic. I see a lot of hardship before I hear about it. Even though we aren't case managers, I'm not a social worker. I love research, and I want to help people as much as possible, because I know the clients that are coming in, they're there for food, but it's just a symptom of a deeper problem. So, but I have the fine honor of helping to run and organize the programs that we have that include partnership with KidVantage, which allows families with kids under 5 to choose from a catalog of gently used items that are donated. And a lot of things are really cost prohibitive, so they deliver it to us, and then we're able to get those on to our clients. We have a mail program for clients that need a physical address in order to apply for resources. We have a Blossom counter where with EBT you can't purchase menstruation products, diapers, nor wipes, so we try to have those on hand for our clients. We also have a senior program where they're able, CSFP, where they're able to choose from various items to add monthly staples to their weekly shopping at the food bank. But it's everyone can come in and shop. We don't ask for income. We don't ask any intrusive questions. We know that if you are walking through the door, there is a need. So we try to meet everyone where they need those resources.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for the work that you're doing there.
Thank you so much. I
Wonderful
appreciate it.
place. So you are a graduate of the class of 2024, so not too long ago. So how did you get involved with Leadership Kitsap? How did you hear about Leadership Kitsap and the year-long program that we have?
Well, as I said, in getting to know city council members and, of course, chamber members, I was invited to apply for a position with the Downtown Bremerton Association. I applied, and through that was encouraged then to sign up for Leadership Kitsap, and I got the scholarship, which was amazing.
Wonderful.
And it was, I'd been involved in leadership programs throughout my life, so it just seemed kind of like a natural progression, especially an incredible opportunity to get to know fellow leaders within the community and people that you don't normally cross paths with, getting to know Brandon and various folks, with the sheriff's department, learning about the shifting culture there and just about a lot of the resources and organizations that exist within the community.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about the community sponsor, the community service project that your team did throughout the year-long program? Who did you guys work with, and what was your project?
So we were Team Blade for Bob, Lauren, Alyssa, Darnell, and myself, Erinn. And we worked with Kitsap Harvest, and we worked with, as well as the co-op, the Kitsap Community Food Co-op, on kitsapcooks.com. So we created a website that houses all of the recipes that were developed by former culinary director of OC, Chef Nash, and we're able to just digitize everything. So there's cooking tips, there's, as I said, recipes, as well as just kind of safety tips. Anything that you would learn in acquiring your food permit. So we wanted to make easy, that all the recipes were developed with the idea that people would be using ingredients from the food bank. So there were a few groups that we worked with through this whole process. But it was mainly, in working with creating a healthy food resource for the community. So we actually worked with Rachel, who is kind of the master chef at KCR, and she welcomed us to create a demonstration cooking video, making veggie chili. So that is actually on the front page of the website, and wanted to create a resource. And stay tuned, but there are some developments that will be hopefully coming in the future through Bremerton Food Line and some projects that we're looking to create there. Chef Nash is on our board, so we're going to continue this legacy.
Wonderful. That was going to be one of the questions that I was going to ask you, is what the sustainability piece was for your community project. But it sounds like you guys have that built in, and you have new things that are coming.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
Yes.
Wow. Wonderful. So throughout your journey with Leadership Kitsap, you were part of a smaller team. And I believe, there's just different challenges, there's different rewards throughout the year. Talk to us a little bit about how your team developed what you guys wanted to work on. Did you come together as a team, and how did that look as a group of people coming together, maybe having different passions?
Right. Well, it's interesting. I mean, obviously I have a deep food passion, deep passion for ensuring that we eliminate food waste from landfill. And we had several members on our team that had, they had health issues, and so they had experienced an impressive weight loss, and were working with family members who were having severe issues, and it inspired kind of a shift in their own lives. And so we all pretty much came together on that passion, which is like, how can we inspire more nutrition in the community? And now, working with a low-income, vulnerable community, there are higher incidence of diabetes and heart disease. And so actually we had Allison from Public Health there today promoting SNAP Ed, and she's always there with recipes. But we knew that this was a resource that was needed. But we really gelled. There were a lot of personal challenges that each of us were experiencing, and it allowed us to be truly authentic and vulnerable. And so we got to know each other on a deeper level. And at times, sometimes it felt like we were siblings, and there was tension, but we were able to work through it. And I'm really grateful for this group. I mean, during this time, speaking of health issues, my father experienced an amputation due to diabetes, undiagnosed diabetes, and my team was so supportive when I had to fly down and take care of him. So.
Yeah, you're part of this larger team. There's, anywhere from about 25 to 30 people in the whole cohort. But then you're on these smaller teams, and you really are able to build these bonds that you can take into the future with you. So with your time with Leadership Kitsap, and I know you still stay actively involved. I get the pleasure of seeing you at different events. What would you say is your most memorable experience with Leadership Kitsap for the year that you did the program?
Oh my gosh. There was so much, and with this opportunity, I was reflecting on it. I would say when everyone came together at the beginning, we had the overnight in Seebeck. Everyone really came, talking about authenticity and vulnerability. Everyone came to that space ready to just kind of expose themselves a little bit. And I don't know if one person inspired another to do the same, but we really created safety. And I loved our cohort so much. And they helped me feel safe to be my most authentic self. But I would say just that opening, even though there were a lot of amazing things that occurred throughout the time on each of the challenge days, that time together was really foundational to setting the stage for the rest of the time together.
Wonderful. When we first sat down to start talking, I heard you talk about leadership. And what do you feel is the best qualities that somebody can have in leadership?
Thank you. I reflect on this a lot. And I think growing up, I always thought that a leader had to be front and center. And I think the most important quality of a leader is, number one, adaptability, but number two, being able to be a foundational force, a strength so that other people can shine. Being able to recognize strength in others and support those spaces, not needing praise or a pat on the back, although it's nice, but really just, I always describe it as, I was never a cheerleader, but I played all the sports, but was never a cheerleader. But I think about the pyramid, and I think about the people at the bottom and the level of strength that they need to have. And I always thought of my own leadership in that regard. How can I best support others in their work?
Wonderful. What advice would you give to somebody who is an emerging leader?
Aside from sign up for Leadership Kitsap, of course. I would say collaborate. There is something has always already been done. There are resources for everything. If you have a vision, if you have an idea, research it. Find out who in the community might have more resources or might already be working on something, and work with them. You can always make something better. Organizations really need to work together because we are just so much stronger than the sum of our parts. Is that the way this saying goes?
Yes.
But yeah, collaboration is really at the core of Bremerton Food Line. And I just wrote out all of the agencies, all of the ways in which we receive resources and food, and all of the organizations that we redistribute to. So we get to be at the center of this incredible ecosystem of just ensuring that food doesn't end up in the landfill and that people in need can get those items, whether it be people food or pet food. So I'm just really, really grateful to work with an incredible team that also has that ethos, and I'm grateful for all the organizations that partner with us.
Yes. Those partnerships are so important. Yeah. So that leads me to my next question. So part of the curriculum for Leadership Kitsap is monthly challenge days. And so you've been in the area for some time now, but was there a challenge day that stood out to you that you maybe enjoyed the most?
Yes. Visiting the jail at the Kitsap County Jail was deeply impactful. It's weird to say that was my favorite because people were extremely affected by the reality. And I feel like it's helped me. So in my role, I started out actually as volunteer coordinator, and we bring in a lot of therapeutic kind of program, drug court, folks that need volunteer hours in order to graduate from the program. And it helped me be extremely compassionate and open. I deeply believe in the need for therapeutic programs for individuals that most likely, more times than not, have experienced trauma in their childhood. And some of those volunteers have become some of my good buddies. And I'm really grateful for that experience with Leadership Kitsap that kind of opened my eyes to in moving to our home in Bremerton, next door happened to be a bit of a trap house. And I learned so much from them, just being open to them and kind of learning from either their mistakes or just tough love. And so I carry that into my work now. But I'm really grateful that Kitsap County has those programs. And I hope that the funding continues because I was able to actually go back and witness a drug court graduation, and it was one of the most moving experiences that I've had in a long time. So, yeah, it's amazing what kind of transpired since that challenge day, but I'm really, really grateful for the eye-opening experience.
Wonderful. So one question I always like to ask everyone, so you've been in the area for a while now, but what doors opened for you being able to be part of the cohort for Leadership Kitsap? You probably were able to experience things that you didn't even know were in Kitsap. Was there something that stood out to you that really was a door opening for you that got you really engaged into the community?
Honestly, I'm not afraid to open doors, and so I kind of started out that way, but I think what Leadership Kitsap really did for me was help me to feel more confident in opening the doors and in asking the questions and having all of those connections. And whether someone was in my cohort or participated in another year, it's kind of an extended family. You are a part of this commitment for so long that you kind of, it feels like you earn your stripes. And so it feels really amazing to be a part of this kind of club, I guess. And I haven't, because I've been so busy, I haven't had the chance to participate as much as I'd like to, but I most certainly will in the future and just make it a commitment. But yeah, it's really just helped me to feel more confident in knocking on those doors and asking for the code or whatever it is to open it.
Right,
so.
right. Yeah, connections. It's such a big part.
Yes.
And Leadership Kitsap really does open all those avenues of connections for everyone. It's so impressive the amount of people that you get to meet throughout the journey of Leadership Kitsap.
Yes, and how great that Greg Nance was in our cohort, and Katie Walters helped lead it. So it's wonderful to have people involved in state and local governments that make it even more approachable.
Yeah.
So,
well, Erinn, I have one final question for you. Tell us how can people get more involved with Bremerton Food Line? What should they do if they want to get involved?
Thank you for asking. Volunteering is one of the best things that you can do for your mental health. So either go to our website, bremertonfoodline.org, and click Get Involved in the volunteer tab, or email me, Erinn@bremertonfoodline.org, ERINN, and I would love to pull you into our wonderful family. We have a very welcoming and wonderful group of humans that volunteer there, and we have programs and projects that are just keep getting added all the time, and we always need help. So yeah, volunteer, donate. We have the food project actually on this Saturday, and every 2 months we have neighborhood captains who distribute needs lists that we create every 2 months, as well as green bags to their neighbors. Those neighborhood captains go collect them and then deliver them to Bremerton Food Line and now Fish Line in Paulsbo on specific days. So this Saturday from 10 to 11:30, we will have kind of a drop-off party, that we call it. And we're really excited that the Kitsap Food Bank Coalition has adopted it as their program. So we're hoping to get the entire county involved, because it's not just about Food Line, it's about all of the need throughout the county as well as North Mason. So if we can work together to make that happen, it'd be wonderful.
Wonderful. Well, Erinn, thank you so much for sitting down with me today and talking about Leadership Kitsap. And thank you so much for all of the wonderful work you're doing at Bremerton Food Line.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Leadership Kitsap Alumni Spotlight. If you want to become a part of a vibrant team working to build a new and continuing source of fine leaders right here in Kitsap County, reach out to us online at leadershipkitsap.org, on Instagram and Facebook. For the Leadership Kitsap Alumni Spotlight, I'm Jenny Higgs. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.